The years passed and I kept writing. By the time Noika and Anya were about to receive their undergraduate degrees, the book had not only been completed, but through the good graces and an introduction courtesy of one of their professors, I'd met a publisher who published it. Both were already planning to attend graduate school. Before graduation day arrived, my girls arranged another introduction on my behalf. One evening, after classes, they brought home two young gentlemen who bore a rather striking resemblance to one another. "Dad, this is Antonio Silva, and this is Carlos Silva, and they're our boyfriends." Each guy shook my hand, reintroduced themselves, and was extremely polite and respectful. "Sir, my name's Antonio, and mine's Carlos, sir, and we're glad to meet you." Turns out they were not only identical twins, but they somehow spoke in that unusual telepathic-like pattern as my daughters. Cowabunga! Whatever is up with these twins? And is there something about being a twin that tends to make them gravitate to each other? Maybe that's something I'll investigate and write my next book about. To the best of my knowledge, my girls never had shown much interest in dating. Perhaps because of those lost years that they'd been taking care of me when I fell apart. After the initial shock of this first encounter with the Silver brothers, and the post-paranoia all dads possess toward any boy interested in his daughter, we spent the evening getting to know each other. Both were already in grad school. Carlos was studying structural engineering, and Antonio was going for an advanced degree in business administration. Before the evening was over, and after assessing these were good guys with good intentions, my fears had been diminished, if not entirely quelled. More years went by. My pair of twins, as well as my daughters, completed their graduate degrees. Honestly, I really liked their choices in boyfriends. They were not only always kind and considerate to their girlfriends, but they were to me as well. If anyone would one day force me to share my kids with them, then the Silver brothers, who were from Brazil, would be the two I'd choose. Kids. Antonio and Carlos were nearing 30, and Anya and Noika had just celebrated their 24th birthday. My, how time goes by. After my kids' graduation ceremony, I took all four of them out for a celebratory dinner. Can you guess where? Bingo! We returned to that place in the village before I went into rehab. It was no longer the same restaurant, but in the true Manhattan fashion, another eatery had taken its place. Near the end of our meal, Chris's daughters excused themselves to use the restroom. Their twins appeared to be surprisingly nervous tonight. "Sir, first we'd like to thank you for this evening, and for your friendship. Then may we ask you a question?" "Well, you just did. And please, no need to address me as sir, just call me Steve and ask away." "Sorry, sir, we mean Steve. May we have your permission to marry your daughters?" "Well, that was rather direct." "Sir, sorry, Steve. You're a father who wouldn't accept anything less than absolute directness." "Touché," I responded. I had given each Silver brother a copy of my Chris and Her Daughters novel a few months back, so I stuck to the script. "Boys, I mean gentlemen. Future sons-in-law. Oh, to hell with it, sons. I'd be honoured to welcome you into our family, and to be welcomed into yours. You have my blessing." Worry and uncertainty had disappeared from their faces as they high-fived each other and broke out in gloriously wide grins of gratitude. As if we were in a Hollywood film, Noika and Anya returned to the table as if on cue, as we three men were vigorously shaking hands. From their flushed faces I knew they'd been just as nervous about this announcement as the brothers were. Calling a waitress to the table, I ordered another cranberry seltzer for myself and a bottle of vintage 1990 Dom Perignon champagne for the soon-to-be newlyweds. But before the waiter had taken 2 steps away from our table, my twin stopped him dead in his tracks. "Please scratch the champagne. Bulletin in from United Twins headquarters. We're all having what he's having." "How do you say in English?" added Antonio. "Make those doubles," Carlos chirped in. "With a slice of lime," concluded the four of them in unison. When the drinks arrived, I offered this toast. May the two couples at this table find the happiness in their marriage that I found with my daughter's mother. Živjeli. And to this the four replied as they clinked their glasses together, Saudi. Prior to tonight's engagement, my twins told me they wanted to attend a graduation party one of their classmates was throwing tonight. So after the fruit-flavoured seltzers, I told them to head off for their affair. I'd take care of the check and just grab a taxi. The soon-to-be husbands, who wouldn't hear of it, called an Uber and informed me the fare and gratuity would be charged to their account. Didn't I tell you these were good guys? After they left, I paid the bill, then went outside. The car already there with the driver standing beside its open door for that lonely long ride home. Sliding into the back seat, and after my eyes adjusted to the darkness, I noticed a woman sitting beside me. Well, my darling husband, looks like we may be grandparents some day. Chris brushed back a strand of her long Titan red hair, then leaned toward me to kiss my always ready to be kissed by her cheek. But this time she hadn't faded before landing the kiss. Moving her lips from my cheek to my ear, she breathlessly whispered before vanishing, Steve, just keep doing you.